Oh, is that the countdown? Oh, welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's Sunday night. It's 5 o'clock. You guys are here. I'm Ben. I'm going to be your host for the service tonight. If you're joining us online, welcome. God, last week was weird. Very weird. If you missed it, that's cool. Don't go back and look for it. If you were here, I want to open with an apology for the way that my fear came across from what I hear as worst case scenario threatening, best case scenario very confusing. It was what I kind of realize now was a scared attempt to have a conversation that I was not ready to have, and that if I'm honest with myself, I didn't want to have. And underneath that, I was also angry, and I didn't know where to put that, and it probably came out sideways at you guys. So I hope you can forgive me. I know you can. I know all of you, and you love me, so you will. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your grace, so that we could pull together a better prepared town hall meeting tonight. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. We value highly the metaphor of journey. We're different people from different places and backgrounds, representing an intergenerational community, and we've traveled different paths. So we strive not, I'm gonna read it. I got into it. So we agree not to make assumptions about the person across from us, next to us, or in conversation with us. We challenge ourselves to be sensitive, knowing this community includes a diverse group of people, from lifelong followers of Jesus to people who are just now open to the idea that God might exist. We strive to avoid offense, ask good questions, articulate and explain our responses. We don't assume fluency in the Bible, spirituality, or church language, because we believe the message of Jesus is not for Christianity, but for humanity. So we do everything in the spirit of love and grace. Also with me tonight, Fred. Hey, Fred, how's it going?
It's going well.
Good. Glad you're here. Thanks.
Glad to be here.
Let's sing a bit, shall we? Are there any kids that want to go with Jenny Beth? I don't think so. Anyway, thanks for being here, Jenny Beth.
Different paths, beautiful people with messy pasts, so have no fear, no judgment here, whether you believe in Jesus, don't believe in anything, something you can teach us, you belong, no right, no wrong. Table where no one's turned away. Well, love without why, no one has to hide. Finding God in people, sharing hearts as equals, where you are held in light. The good news is on your side. Solidarity helps us to find some peace in the great unknown. You don't have to be alone. Leading into grace, help us make a place with an open table where no one's turned away. Finding God in people.
All right, we're going to sit in silence. I don't know if the camera gets me down here, but that's where I'm going, so. Here we are. All right. So we're going to ring the bowl like we usually do. We're going to return to our attention to God, to the source, the center, the emptiness, whatever, whoever that is, sink into it. If you can achieve conscious contact with yourself, your true self, the God of your understanding, with what is. Let's contemplate what we want to allow this ceremony to accomplish for us. Humility, spiritual rebirth, strength for what lies ahead. Breathe. It's all right. Let me open up the town hall tonight. If you're just getting here, we're having a quick town hall because there was last week some confusion. I want to open the town hall tonight with gratitude. Come on down. Good to see you. I want to open with gratitude because this has been a decade. We opened the first Sunday of Lent in 2013, and this is the last Sunday of Lent in 2022. So it's been a cool decade, but it's also been a cool decade. And it's made me who I am in the ways that I have come to love the most about myself. You've let me grow to know and love myself, which is no small thing. And so even the ability to have a hard conversation is a gift. And I want to start with that gratitude. I am so grateful. And I could not love you guys more than I do. So we're going to wait just a second and let them find their seats. They're going to want to see this. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat. We're just about to start a town hall meeting. Ooh, yeah, fun. And you need to be able to see a TV if you can't, and there are more chairs available. So we're going to, there's room for everybody. Plenty of room in the circle. All right. Are we all ready? All right. Good. I'm going to let you guys watch it, and I'm going to go pee so that you're not wondering how I'm reacting while you're watching it. I think that's probably for the best. All right, let's do this, shall we? I don't think this is on. There it is. All right. Hey guys, this is Ben with a tough announcement about our beloved Collective Church. Several years ago, I got to spend a year as a hospice chaplain, sitting at the bedside with the dying and their families, helping them to get ready to die well. And the strange thing would happen. Well, it was strange to me at first. People would get on hospice service. They would get off all their medication. We would make them comfortable. They'd be surrounded by friends and family. And they would have this surge of energy, clarity, presence, consciousness. It's a term that we call terminal lucidity. They weren't getting better. They were getting clear. They were getting conscious before they died. And if you've been around this last spring at Collective, you've probably felt some really strong energy, clarity for the first time in a while, a sense of energy about Collective. New people have been coming. We've been more clear in celebrating our distinctive values. There are kids in the room laughing and playing. The house band is back. So if you didn't know that Collective had been terminally ill for years, you might think things at Collective were really good, that things were really healthy, because we did have this really cool sense of energy and clarity. We had this campaign where we celebrated finding our place, finding our church, finding our faith, finding our people. And for some of us, there was this powerful sense of clarity, energy, and presence, a new consciousness. And we know now that was terminal lucidity. Behind that true and enduring spirit, that very real presence, is a body that cannot hang on any longer. Behind that terminal lucidity is a financial skeleton that can no longer bear weight. An atrophied hope for things like Sunday Soul Brunch. And though the heart is strong, like the Bible says, the church is like a body, and a body is more than any one part. We have such a strong heart, friends. It's good and true. But the heart is not enough. This week, Collective died peacefully between services. We're going to have a memorial service this coming Friday, 6 p.m. at the Drika Theater, 112 East New York Ave. Next week is Good Friday. And if you're not familiar with that tradition on Good Friday, God is dead, Christ is dead, and this year, Collective is dead. Maybe you need to come grieve because Missing Collective will mean grief. This meant something to you. Maybe you're like me, you've been missing it for years, those magical days on Alabama Avenue. I know that I will miss it. Come celebrate with us. Give thanks for all the good that was done, the joy that was created, the justice accomplished, the affirmation and inclusion that were offered without condition. The table that was set and open from which no one was ever turned away, the non-religious embrace, the unconditional belonging and transformative love, that thing that was so real for a season that we couldn't see it and we couldn't name it, but we got to be a part of it. Collective dying takes none of that away. Some of you, you've been hurt by this community. You need to come and make peace and express some anger, some sadness, disappointment, or even relief that it's finally over. That's okay. Maybe you're confused. You're caught totally off guard. We apologize for that shock. Death is like that. It's been like that for us as well. And for so many of you who are going to feel left displaced, the only antidote is friendship. The only antidote is genuine community. We hope that you will reconnect with a few folks and make your own community, your own little tribe this next Friday, as Collective is dispersed and distributed back into your lives, which is where it really came from all along. We hope you'll find a teacher, we hope you'll find a community, and we hope you'll find a practice. Joy, hope, gratitude, shock, anger, relief, sadness, grief, confusion. Maybe you're just in for a bit of a family reunion. Old faces and new that can come together next Friday and say, hey, we did something really valuable. It wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. But now it's dead, and that's okay. It's okay. If you can come on Friday and make some peace, let's let Collective go. Let's let it go well so that we can have genuine friendship, so that we can work towards the common good together without the shackles of religion, the fears about money, scapegoating each other over social issues. Let's let that go. Let's speak some words. Let's make some peace. Let's find some closure and have a good life as good people who are empowered by and are set free from this season. Imagine feeling more loved. Imagine being more loving. I'll be trying to practice that. I hope to see you on Good Friday, April 15th at 6 p.m. for one hell of a funeral. From all the way deep down to as far out as this message goes, grace to you and peace. It's hard when clinging to a really, really good life crosses that threshold from prolonging life to prolonging death. From fighting hard to keep a good thing going, which we've done for so long, to eventually resisting letting a dying thing go, which is hard to admit. My heart is not in this. The life force that once made this place what it was has passed. And that's okay. The Collective has been dying for some time. I mean, the truth is, Collective has been dying longer than some of you have been in the room. A lot longer than some of you have been in the room. And that's not to say that we haven't done a hell of a lot of living in those years. Even in the years we were dying, we did some of our best work. I did some of my best work in these years that we were terminal. But now, and you felt this last week, I heard, you felt this. Now we're clinging. We're clinging. And prolonging death needs to come to an end. If we're not prolonging life anymore, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. She's tired. She's tired. She did more than we ever could have asked of her in 10 years, 15 if you count Canvas. But she's created a context and a language and a network of 3 property development projects and a movement that will bless us and our town and our county and maybe our state for generations. For sure, our town and our city and our county, for generations. What we've done in the last 10 years has created something that will change lives for the better, for generations. It's okay to celebrate that and let it go. Just as every life inevitably comes to this moment, to death. And I don't know why we talk all the time about resurrection, but we think that doesn't apply to churches. The time and the resources for collective to live, we could tell 2 stories, right? One story we could tell is that the time and the resources have run out, right? We could tell that story, and in which case we're powerless and we're victims and, we're sad and we're angry. That's fine. The other story is, though, that the time and the resources for collective have run their course. They've done their thing. They've accomplished their mission. They've created a thing that's going to be the fertile ground for more things. They've run their course. You can't possibly know the time and attention and energy I've spent in spreadsheets and models and bank accounts and profit and loss statements. My prayer is that we won't spend a bunch of energy trying to autopsy this. I hope that we can grieve and love one another through some profound gratitude, and I think because of that very real gratitude, very real pain. It's okay. There's a safe place here for you to process this and to express what needs to be, and to help us plan for Good Friday. This is one of those things where it comes back to bite you in the ass. We're the death-positive church, so we need to die like it. The floor is open. I would imagine that there are maybe some people online. I haven't been watching, but maybe I can check in on that. But as I open the floor, I want to do it again with gratitude. And I see it in your faces. Gratitude and such feelings of loss are profound reminders that the love that we experienced here was real. Share with us, plan with us, sit with us. We don't have to fill the silence. We can just let it sink in. I've got a mic here. I'm willing to throw it at somebody.
Without collective, I wouldn't be in DeLand. Without collective, I wouldn't have made lifetime friendships that I care about and people that I love. For me, it's tough. It's really tough. But certain things will go on. Collective Cares is going to go on. And, we're open to our allies, so if you want to come to any of those events, you're more than welcome. But I love each and every one of you, and I value your friendships so much, and that would not have happened had it not been for Collective. I was living an isolated life in Orlando, and when I came to DeLand to Sonny Goff's funeral, I met Collective, and the people of Collective treated me like one of their own right from the start. And I am so grateful. And I do understand what you're saying. Sometimes you have to stop and not prolong the life. You have to let it go. But that doesn't mean I'm letting go of the friendships, and that doesn't mean I'm going to let go of the love.
By no means. By no means. No, that's what we celebrate. That's what stays.
Probably know what I'm going to say. What about Easter? This is a Christian church. We believe in resurrection.
Well, are you asking theologically or about next Sunday?
About Sunday, what are we going to do anything about Sunday? And if not, I think it would be a good idea for all of us to get together regardless, somewhere.
Okay. Understandably, we're not planning an Easter service currently. We're planning to wrap things Friday with a memorial on Good Friday. And Death Cafe on Friday, yes. So people who need to talk about death. And I will say this, though. Though it will not be under my leadership, my plan is after the Memorial Friday to make the building available till 10, 11 p.m. so that the people who are here who need to do what they're going to do, to make whatever plans they need to make, absolutely. And I think to touch on briefly, Dan said Collective Cares is going to go on. Jim and I have had conversations about how the things that we're already doing that don't require resources, that aren't a part of a sustainability, framework, and the things that we've sort of identified are, and maybe this is something you all can help these people plan. First of all, what I'm calling big questions. So this is kind of a decade of me having conversations with Jim, and I guess he's sort of always known this, but his definition of spiritual community is something about coming together around life's most important questions, answering life's most important questions. So one of the functions that we serve as a church is what we'll call big questions. Getting together and having a safe place to discuss big questions, theology, philosophy, life, whatever. So big questions. Jim has agreed to be a point person, a volunteer, to organize a group of people who want to talk about big questions. Jim is going to take that, not indefinitely. All of these are experiments. Again, this is people who are willing to see what can happen. So Jim's going to take that. We need to continue to provide space for big questions. Jim will do that. We need to continue to provide LGBTQ safe zone space. That's always been at the heart of what we have done. The building's going to be here, the Drika, a lot of the work is going to continue. Dan, and then hopefully in conjunction eventually with DeLand Pride, we can keep that work going here. So big questions, LGBTQ work, and justice work. And so Freddie, Faith, our hope is, and this is, the big picture is that the work that started here will blossom into the Volusia Interfaith Center. And so though Collective is dying, the hope is that within about a year from now, there will be 7 worshiping communities between these 3 properties. There will be, I think, 8. 5 here, 2 in Orange City, and 1 at the plaza over there, all different traditions. Not just different Christian traditions, different faith traditions. And so as the Interfaith Center, of course, we'll provide space for big questions, for safe zone stuff, for justice work. And the hope is that that justice work can then work through all of those congregations. And onward and upward, on to the next thing. Yeah, and there is not easy conviction, but conviction from the people who have been in leadership in the church in recent years through some of our toughest seasons. Though these are tough decisions, this will pave the way for greater good, but it really does require letting this go. We can't figure out what the next thing is. We can't figure out what the greater good is while we're still holding this in one hand. As much as we love it. We gotta let it go so that we can see what's next.
I know you put your heart and soul into this.
And that doesn't change. I mean, that's Joe and I were talking about that. Don't misunderstand that this is me giving up on my dream. I had my dream. I got the dream. We did it. The dream was accomplished in the first 4 years of Collective, and from there it's been a question on, does it scale? Is it sustainable? Who wants to be a part of it? And a ton of those things had nothing to do with the culture or the content of the community. It was just about whether or not somebody could make a living on it, whether or not there was a property model that could be connected to it, whether or not there was scalability online. There were big experiments. And it happened that there was a really genuine spiritual community that was the thread through all of it. Thank God for that. That doesn't mean it gets to go on forever. That's hard.
I'm really grateful for Collective because I had lost complete faith in any type of organized religion because I felt more hate than love. And coming here made me realize that there's still a lot of love, and it gave me a lot of faith in humanity and a lot of faith in community that I hadn't felt in a long time. So it's been a really nice experience, and I'm very grateful for you, Ben, and for everyone making me feel welcome and making Odin feel welcome, because we were very alone for a long time, and it was nice to feel community here and love. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time,
Yeah.
a real hard time. I'm concerned about you, Ben, how you're going to go forward from this.
I'm good. I appreciate that. I'm going to be okay. I'm good. This is me. This is a decision I need to make. I appreciate the concern. I really do. I'm good. I'm good. And listen to me. It's not that I don't know who you guys are and your number. You know that if I need help, I'll ask for help.
We'll always be there for
I
you,
know it.
Ben.
I know it. And I'm not going anywhere. Benny, how's it going, man? Come on in. Have a seat.
Well, thank you for everything that you have done. And I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no words other than my heart hurts, and I'll pray and keep you in the light that, you know, something else will come from this.
It will. It already is.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, we don't need to, I don't want us to pass it and give people the sense that they have to say something. So I'm much more comfortable that we can kind of sit with it a minute. And then if people feel like they really have something to contribute. Benny, I love you. I'm sorry you walked in on a night where we're closing the church. So, and you're not being punked. It's just, that's what's happening. But we'll get coffee. It'll make more sense. This is Benny. He's my bud. Yeah. It's really hard. It wasn't going to be easy. This was important that we make this announcement this way. We'll put the video out tomorrow. Also, we're trying to get the audio track for Love Without Why to use as the backtrack, just because it's a little less funerally. But either way, the video is going to go out. We're going to let people know. The hope is that people will come Friday, and that'll include people who have left over the years for whatever reason. People maybe that left, before COVID or during COVID, and just it hasn't been on their mind. And that there could maybe be a sense of energy and reconnection in those genuine relationships, and most of all, that we can let it go well, that it not continue to be something that we feel like we wonder what if or should have or Trust me, I've done it. Yeah, that's a good question. Bill said I'm confused about how the building will be used going forward. We're not 100% clear, I think, is the short answer. My employment for the next 15 months is going to be connected still to managing the building as the Interfaith Center, the Counseling Cooperative, all the other, managing Natasha and Drika Theater events, all of that stuff. Part of this is that this is also the end of Collective's funding model. And so I also have to accept another part-time appointment in the Methodist Church for my income. And so there's a limited amount of the hours I have and the time and where that can go. So the building will continue doing all the things it's doing and hopefully more. There will be other good work. Yeah. That doesn't really matter. I actually don't even know if they've started meeting again since COVID. But there's another, I believe it's a Lutheran church that meets in the plaza, Amelia Plaza. There are two Hispanic, well, no, there's an African-American congregation and there's a Hispanic congregation that meet in the Orange City property. And then there are the Buddhist community, Monday Yoga, and the Quaker community that are still meeting here, and a handful of others who have expressed interest under that interfaith center model. Good question. I know it's fresh. That's good. Yeah, I'm grateful for Jim too. Yeah, extra grateful. Yeah. Yeah. While we sit, I'm going to invite us just kind of whenever we're ready to come to the table. And we'll do this again Friday. I wanted you all to have time to process. You can email me. You can call me this week. We're going to have a proper celebration of life on Friday. We'll celebrate the Eucharist again. We're going to play a bunch of music. I think there's going to be some of the old Tell Your Story videos with some of those faces, and there's a lot to celebrate. So if stuff will come to you this week, maybe, you don't need to get it all out tonight. This was just to let you all have a soft place to land, as soft as it can be. Anything to add, Fred? Just to put you on the spot, because you've got a mic, so might as well. I do. John, can you turn Fred's mic on? Thanks. Check, 1, 2.
Check.
Oh my goodness.
There it is. Came back with a vengeance.
Fred, any thoughts?
I'm not going to cry.
Yeah, right.
I remember sitting down with you, how many years has it been? Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, in Trilogy.
The old trilogy.
The old
original.
Trilogy. Well, I was hoping to get a 2-for-1 as a organizer with Faith. Recruiting congregations is a prize I've always been after, and I found out that there was this pastor that was the associate pastor of a church in town here and of this new innovative church called Collective, and I sat down and thinking that maybe I would be able to recruit you and all of you to be a part of the organization I represent, and little did I know I was being recruited to play music here, and I hadn't played music in quite a while, yeah, without going into it too much and getting emotional, I'm just eternally grateful for you, Ben, and your friendship and what this community has meant to me, and as sad as I am, I'm really grateful for what has transpired here, the love, the inclusion, the justice, and I'm excited for what comes next whatever that is, whatever form it takes. I know that the energy that that you have poured into this and that we've all poured into this is going out into the world and is going to make a positive difference. So thank you all for listening to me talk.
Cheers. Thank you. I'm going to let you all sit. Freddie and I will play some music for as long as you need us to. And if you feel like you want to or you can, come to the table. This symbol from our tradition of the humanity of God and the body of Christ in every single person that comes. If you're ready, you can come and grab some bread, dip it in the cup, share with one another this meal and these words, bread for the journey and nourishment for the soul.
Wish upon you peace, wish upon you grace, wish for less of what you want and more of what you need. Wish upon you an old life with a heart that stays young. And most of all, I wish upon you love. Wish upon you truth. All you feel is doubt. Hope you know that an open mind still knows when to shut things out. Wish upon you a brave heart who'll always rise above. But most of all, I wish upon you love. As the sun sets, well, the moon begins to rise. Even in darkness, you'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. Yes, even in darkness, you'll find the light. Wish upon you an easy life. Wish upon you hard times. I hope you know that both joy and pain each need the moment to shine. I wish you ears that are quick to listen and slow to use that tongue. But most of all, I wish upon you love. As the sun sets, well, the moon begins to rise. So even in darkness, you'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. Yes, even in the darkness, you'll find the light.
I love you all very much. I know this sucks. It's okay. A lot of times the hardest things are the right things. Let's bring our hands together as a symbol of our intention. First, to our foreheads for clarity of thought, to our lips for clarity of speech, to our hearts for clarity of action, so that in all that we say and do, love would be our first thought, and our first word, and our first deed. Grace and peace. Grace and peace. Feel free to hang. Dan will make you a cup of coffee. We'll put on some house music. Hug each other safely and with consent. Peace. The service is at 5:30, yes. No, it's at 5. But